Hi everyone. I wanted to come to you tonight and talk to you about being discouraged. So, I as nurses and as healthcare providers, the reason why I started the company is because I realized, and I'm very clear on one fact, that we as nurses and we as healthcare providers, just because we're at the bedside and we're taking care of the patients, doesn't mean that our outside lives doesn't we're not discouraged by our outside lives. So I had a friend that called me yesterday, and when she called me, she was telling me about another nurse that was speaking, saying some things that was not nice about me. And at first, way back when, I would have been super upset about what this particular person said, and it would have ruined my entire day. But what I said, and I realized that I had growth in the moment, as I said in the moment, I said, look, I said, I can't worry about what she thinks about me, because I'm too busy trying to grow personally. And I realized the growth in that moment. And what I want to pass on to you is, because a lot of times whenever people say things about us, we get upset about those things, right? Don't you get upset whenever people say things about you and you're like, I want to either go get that person, or you either sit back and you think to yourself, well, I am that way. But you see, you have to choose in the moment to be emotionally intelligent enough to evaluate what that person is saying and say, is it true? Is it not true? And if it's true, then maybe there's some things that you need to, change, or some things that you may need to do. But if it's not true, it's not true. And people will say things about you just because it makes them look like they are the authority on your situation. And this particular person is kind of funny, because she doesn't even know me very, very well. But I thought it was just funny how people will spread rumors about you and not like you just because of whatever reason. And so I had to be okay in the moment. And so the next day, I went to I went to class. I went to a leadership class. And in that class, I remember, and I think the reason why we have such incivility in nursing is because we are trained to look at the bad in people. That's what we're trained to do. And so sometimes we don't just do that when it comes to disease. We sometimes do that also when it comes to other things. And so Cassie Garcia, in that class, she said, and it was such a breath of fresh air, where she said, I just look at the good in people. I look for the good in people. And I was like, that is such a breath of fresh air for her to be, a nurse and be able to do that. And there's a lot of nurses and a lot of healthcare providers who are able to do that. However, there's some that they're not. And so it was just an amazing experience to be able to do that. And in that class, there were several times that I heard things about my own self that was very opposite than what this person had said. And I remember thinking, because whenever someone says something about you, don't you just that negative thing is always that negative self-talk in the back of your head. You're always thinking, well, that's exactly how I am, when you really are not that way. And so you have to choose who you are. You have to choose to say what they're saying is not true. It is absolutely not true. Because we as healthcare providers, you see, we're human. And we come to the bedside. We have to come to the bedside, and we have to take care of patients. And coming to the bedside and taking care of patients, we have to get that negative self-talk out of the back of our heads. Because we have to come there and be very mindful in the moment of what we're doing. And so I wanted to come tonight to just say, God, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are an amazing group of people. Every single solitary last one of you. You have your strengths, you have your weaknesses, we all do. But you find your strength, you find your wheelhouse, and you be in that. And when people come back and they say things about you that is not necessarily so nice or making so true, what you have to do is you have to, in the moment, say, okay. Because the famous author Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. But I will say this until, for probably every video, that life is 10% of what's done to you and 90% of how you react to it. So how you react to it is huge. And you have to understand that what you do or how you react to it says more about you than it does about anybody. And the other person who was talking bad about you, it says more about them. Because if you're truly a really good person, and you really don't speak bad about people. And so, in nursing, we have to learn that. We have to learn that we just have to know who they are, love them through it all. The love of 1 Corinthians that says, I'm going to love you. I'm not necessarily going to like what you say. I'm not like what you do. But I'm going to love you through it all. And Renee Brown, which is one of my super good friends, we're really, really close. And she said, I can't worry about the people who don't like me because I'm too busy loving the ones that do. And so God always gives it to me twice to say, it is super good that, people are in your life that build you up instead of tearing you down. And so you keep those people close and you love them with all your heart. I love each of you. Thank you so much for listening. And again, we're having a conference August 7th, 2020. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know how I can assist you further in your nursing career or healthcare career, whether you're a respiratory therapist, whether you're emergency medical technician. We want to continue to encourage you day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. I love you. Good night.